Hey friends, it's Emily from burlapkitchen.com, and today we're going to be working with the fall wood blanks bundle that we have in the store right now. So this one comes with 2 pumpkins I just showed you, a crow, and then also this scarecrow, which also comes with that little rim piece to the top of his hat. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to stain the front and the back. So I decided, so that little crow you could put on your pumpkins if you wanted to, but I decided that I actually wanted to put him on my scarecrow. So I'm going to stain the front and back of all 3 pieces here. And in this bundle, like I said, you'll get all these 3 pieces plus the 2 pumpkins. And I'm using Minwax in the color Dark Walnut. I just rubbed it on with a rag and rubbed it off. Make sure you use gloves and make sure you stain in a well-ventilated area. So next I'm going to come in with some paint, and I have this pretty teal color that I'm going to use. And I am going to, this is actually an apple barrel paint. I love these paints. I use them all the time. I'm going to paint the top of his hat and also the little rim piece with the teal. I was going to go traditional, and then I thought, let's do something different. So I decided to go with this teal color, and absolutely love how this turned out. It's just gorgeous. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to give this a second coat here and let it dry. And now that's dry, I'm going to come in with some black. Again, this is also an apple barrel paint. I'm going to use some black on my crow. And I am going to paint the front and the back of the crow just because I don't know how I'll have this tilted when I hang it. And if you see a little bit in the back, I want it to all match. But I didn't stain the back of the scarecrow because I feel like a stained back is a finished back in my opinion. So I'm just going to piece that together. You can see how cute that's going to look. Then I'm going to come in with some chestnut brown and then a little bit of the toasted marshmallow. And I'm going to try to mix this together just to kind of get like a burlap type color here for his face. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use my paintbrush and paint that right on. Just like that. That looks pretty good to me. And then we'll go over it later with the sanding block. And then we're going to give it a nice dry. And then I'm just going over it quick. I couldn't quite get the color that I wanted, so I had to keep mixing until I got it to look the way that I wanted it to look. Then we're going to give it another dry, and then I'm going to go over this entire project with the sanding block. I didn't paint the bottom yet because I was still thinking about what color I wanted to make that. And then as I was sanding the crow and kind of looking at everything all together, I decided I think it would look really pretty black. So I just went in with some more black, and be as careful as you can down here where the black meets the kind of burlappy color, because we're going to fix that here in a second, but you do want to try to keep that neat down there. So we're going to go over it with something. Then once that's dry, I'm going to go over that with a sanding block also so it matches the rest of the project. Then, this is the tricky part, I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw 2 ovals for the eyeballs. I can never get the eyes to look right. So if you guys have any tips for me when drawing eyes, let me know. Drop them in the comments. Help me out here because I'm always struggling with this. So I just made 2 little kind of ovals with my pencil, and then I'm just going to color it in with the toasted marshmallow. Again, that's an apple barrel paint also. So I'm just using a really fine paintbrush. Then I'm going to give it a nice dry. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of black, and I'm just going to kind of add those little dots there at the bottom. So I'm just coming in with the black, and every time I make eyes, they always like they're looking down. So I don't know how to get them to look like they're looking straight. But I'm learning, so I'm practicing. And then we're going to come in with some orange and then a little dot of black. Any bright orange and a little dot of black will just tone that down so you can see. Here, as I'm drawing the nose, I just drew a triangle on there, and then we're just going to fill this in. And then I did add 2 little white dots in the center of those eyes. Then I'm going to add a little bit of blush because he's been out in the cold and he's a little chilly. Then we're going to come in with some raffia. I'm just going to glue that up top here, just like that, and then trim it up wherever it's needed. And give him a little haircut here. Then this side needed just a little bit more raffia, so I added a little bit more to it. And then we're going to glue the rim of his hat on. So then I'm going to use a Sharpie Ultra Fine Point Marker to draw his mouth on. Mine is actually dying. I have a new one, and I couldn't find it. So once I find it, I will darken them in. And then I just glued my crow on the top of his hat, trimming up the hair again a little bit. So then I'm going to come in with some burlap ribbon, and I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. It's a little too wide for what I want to do. So if you take a little string out and pull it, it will give you a nice straight line to cut on your burlap. And then I'm just going to cut that down, and then I'm going to make another one here. Do you see that nice straight line? So that's a tip there for cutting burlap. So now that I got that cut down, then I'm just going to tie it around, and I'm just going to tie it into a little knot here. And just kind of mess around with that to get it to look the way that I want it to look. Trim it up. I did add a double knot there. And then I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but then I decided it looked cute just hanging like that. So I trimmed them down, and then I took my hot glue and just glued it in place so it wasn't covering his mouth. And again, I gave it a trim. Then I came in and I drilled this because I'm going to make mine like a door hanger. These do not come pre-drilled, and you do not get wire with this kit. This is not necessarily a kit. These are just blanks for you to craft with. So I'm just showing you what is possible, what you can do with them. So I'm going to come in with my wire. I get this at Lowe's and with this, it's near the cement. I think it's called rebar wire. You can get a big roll of it pretty cheap. So I just drilled holes and added some wire. I put a little glue on the end so I don't scratch myself. And that is it, guys. That's our Scarecrow. I hope you enjoyed this. For more fun ideas just like this, please visit burlapkitchen.com. Thank you.